Hextall knocked it down and then was able to clear. Out of the penalty box comes Sutter, offside against the Canadians, and now Hextall goes barreling out at one of the Canadians, hitting
Chelios.
high and hard.
He wanted Chelios as soon as Chelios came across the blue line. And that has to be that big mark that we talked about that's still riding on Chelios' shirt from that hit on Brian Propp in Game 1. That's pretty well a signal that Ron Hextall has kissed the season goodbye. 1 minute and 37 seconds to go. The Flyers are down by 2, and Hextall made a beeline for Chelios. And you know what was interesting about the play was that Chelios just came across the blue line intentionally to stop play, to end up with an intentional offside.
This would have been the point at which the Flyers would have wound up even strength with the Canadians, and Hextall might have been pulled in very soon for an extra attacker. Chelios escorted to the bench where the Canadians greet him, but there you see Ron Hextall.
Walter at center. 2 seconds left. Walter carries in. The game is over. And now a fight at the blue line, and here comes Billy Smith to try and get in it. Rick Green cut him off at the pass. Meanwhile, who got in the fight? They are flat on the ice and out of our reach.
Well, Billy Smith and Richard Sevigny. Sevigny's had some experience last Friday night in doing battle with the Quebec backup goaltender. Tonight, he didn't even think twice about going right at Billy Smith after Smith had come charging out of his net to try and get in the fight with Bob Gainey and whoever that other Islander player is underneath Bob Gainey.
He is hidden by the lines, but now they have Gainey separated from the melee. Meanwhile, Smith and Sevigny continue to battle. Was it Tonelli? It was Tonelli that Gainey was into it with. This game is over. The Canadians have won 4-2, but both benches have emptied. And you see the backup goaltender for Montreal, Sevigny, against the Islander goaltender, Billy Smith. With Brian Lewis, the referee, trying to separate those two.
Billy Smith still has his mask on, and Richard Sevigny is trying to get that mask off. Smith right now has Sevigny's sweater over his shoulders, making it difficult for Sevigny to throw too many punches at Billy Smith. But where are you going to hit Billy Smith anyway? He's got his mask on. He's got plenty of padding on. It's not going to hurt too much.
Well, the Montreal Canadiens have won the game 4-2. This series will switch to the Nassau Coliseum for Saturday night. We'll be there with you on USA.
For Trottier. Watch Billy Smith here, the goalie, against Lanny McDonald. Smith is only 5'9", 175 pounds. Go, Smitty. Battling Billy Smith, pouring it on with Lanny McDonald, who may have severely bruised the...
Ended even the goaltenders, Hanlon and Meloche were in it. The Canucks lost 7-2, and their new look faded a little bit tonight.
Now we have Hanlon and Myre down near the goal mouth, and Hanlon with the left hand starts to pound away at Phil Myre. Now he gets the right hand free. Now goes back to the left. Now goes over top. Hanlon and Myre, the goaltenders. Myre, the starter for Philadelphia. Hanlon, the backup for the Canucks. And Hanlon has landed some uppercuts. Now everybody comes over to try and help out Myre and Hanlon as they try and separate those two. Where's Tiger throughout all this? Has he got a hold of somebody?
Barnaby mixing it up with the goaltender, trying to get free, and Kloski comes over and labels Barnaby. The big penalty now on Kloski. It's leveled back there as he knocked out Barnaby, and May went flying in. And they all pile in behind the net, and Barnaby is still down on the ice. And out comes trainer Jim Pizzatelli to look to him. And Kloski grappling session. And now, here comes Barnaby after Snow. Barnaby bailing away at Snow in front of the net. Here comes Trefilov the length of the ice to get involved. Barnaby got up and went after Snow. And Trefilov for the ice. And Toski is still wrestling with the linesman in the corner. And Snow gets back on his feet, and now he comes over. He wants after Trefilov. Here's Snow and Trefilov going at it. Down to the ice they go with Trefilov on top of Snow as they roll around. Meanwhile, behind the net, another battle is between Barnaby and Brindamore. Or where the net should be. Now Snow is firing some punches, and here comes Trefilov trying to get back on his feet again. Barnaby and Brindamore are still grappling. And now here comes Toski to get involved again. He comes over and the referee warns him away. Holler comes over in that direction. Here's Desjardins. Desjardins and Barnaby mixing it up. And now Barnaby behind the net and Brindamore tumble to the ice again. And the officials really have their hands full now. Barnaby and Brindamore are still trying to get their arms straight and toss some more punches, and now they get back in it again in the circle. This is like a three-ring circus. As Trefilov and Snow.
That's what happens in front of the net. Watch Garth Snow with his goalie stick. And Matthew did not like that.
Well, I'd have to suggest that maybe Mr. Snow kind of asked for one there by
Sure did ask
jabbing him
yes,
with the
sir.
stick.
He should have kept his nose out of there. Here comes Trefilov, coast to coast, to get involved.
Hey,
Boy.
Brian Burke, where are you, Brian?
Yeah, get the videos rolling now. Boy, this reminds me of some days in the past, I'll tell you that. Against Philadelphia in this building. I can remember a couple of rumbles we had. There go the goaltenders.
But in those days, partner, they used to clear the benches.
Oh, yeah, the whole bench, everybody would have been on the ice. Yep.
And so we don't reach the end of the second period, but we...
I want to get a little piece of this action, and Shields wants Snow. Well, we've got everybody grappling, and Shields wants a piece of Garth Snow, but the linesmen get them apart. Meanwhile, Portick is still wrestling with Ray. Nobody, I believe, has thrown any punches down, and the ice they go. As Ray pins Portick with a body slam.
And now Snow.
And Shields, and here they go. Now coming across the ice was May. Snow and Shields, the linesman, trying to get them apart, and they want to go. Here they go. Shields firing punches at Garth Snow. They're having it right in front of the bench. Shields and Snow going at it. And everybody else is grappling, and this crowd is going bananas. Now the linesman will try to separate the goaltenders again, and Shields wants some more. Now this will only take about a half an hour to figure out.
It was inevitable, wasn't it?
And here's Dan Cloutier. He wants to come and challenge Passmore. They're going to have a fight. Cloutier throws the gloves and headgear off. So does Passmore. The two goalies are going to go at center right. And here they come together. Passmore and Cloutier. A wild right from Cloutier missed. Now we got one in. Now Passmore got it right in. An uppercut got in. And then Cloutier slugs away with a couple of right hands. And he got another one in. And then here come the officials who try to separate them. Well, this was all. Now, why would that not be instigation?
Has to be. He called him on. He left his crease first, and he just sucker punched
And with
Passmore
the
again.
officials grabbing the two combatants, the right hand of Cloutier was loose, and he reached over the top and clocked Passmore with a sucker punch.
I agree with you. He left the crease. He didn't have to leave the crease. It should definitely be a penalty. First of all, let's go get it.
Oh, here comes Probert to have something to say to Cloutier. Oh, and there's a little world-class backpedaling going on from the goaltender there.
And Steve, Passmore for the Blackhawks.
I guess this goes from way back in the minors that Passmore said that Cloutier wanted a little piece of him in the minors, and Passmore, you know what, he said, fine, you know, I'll come out there, and Cloutier is obviously a bigger guy. You can see the size difference there, but Passmore, he was more than willing to go out there and go, and he had a good little scrap, and he's laughing at the end. I mean, but for Cloutier to go out there, it kind of makes a mockery of the National Hockey League. There's no reason that he should go down the other end.
Watch this here. Oh, hey, you can't do that.
That's a cheap shot. There's no question about it. And he, Bob Probert takes exception to this and goes after him. But you can't do that. You can't skate down the other end ice and challenge the other goaltender.
As Pat was saying, as Probert got involved, Cloutier was doing some work.
Once again, the goalie's getting into the action. Tampa's Dan Cloutier, Florida's Sean Gauthier mixing it up.
Hey, I'm glad they took their pads off, because otherwise it would just be like pillow fighting with all those big pads that they wear.
This is amazing. These two teams just go at it time after time. There were more fights in this game than goals, but a good time was had by all. Oh!
I think that's called a knockout.
Yeah, that's a knockout.
He throws them pretty good, and I don't think Tchaikovsky is a noted fighter.
No. And now the goaltender, Salo, comes over. Here comes Cloutier.
Kenny, we said old-time hockey lives. Well, here it is.
Dan Cloutier has been known to get into fights in the minor leagues. It happened earlier this year with the Hartford Wolfpack. Really throwing them at Salo.
Well, here's another game misconduct because the jersey is off. And Cloutier is putting a job. But right now, somebody's got to get loose and put a stop. I don't care if it's the lineman, the referee, or whoever. But when the guy is down and out, okay, Cloutier's smart enough to back off, leave it alone, and away he goes.
And now Cloutier challenging the Islanders bench. Things have gotten out of control. And then Salo comes in to help his teammate. And then Cloutier comes flying in. And he pulled the jersey off Salo.
And Cloutier sort of got Salo unaware coming in from the side. Salo not knowing he's coming, but he's throwing haymakers, ups and downs.
When P.J. Stock was first recalled by the Rangers this year, somebody asked him if he was the toughest player on the Hartford Wolfpack. He said, there's one Wolfpack I would not want to get into a fight with. It's our goaltender, Cloutier.
Well, bear witness to what he just did in this one, and now...
Before the puck is ever dropped between Heatley and Coletta. Peters is out there as well, and Myre at center ice. And Myre trying to go after Spezza. Spezza doesn't want anything to do with it. Played back in over the line, and everybody tearing up at center. And here goes Myre after Spezza. Now Myre gets grabbed from behind, and they all pile in there now. And Biron is looking for Emery. Here's Biron trying to get his gloves off, and Ray Emery wants to go too.
This is about.
Now, Byron just dropped Emery. And over comes Peters to grab Emery, and this is really going to get ugly now. Peters hasn't thrown a punch at Ray Emery. Now he does. Emery comes back, and now Peters starts teeing off on Emery. Ray Emery, with all that equipment on, knows enough to keep his head away.
Samuelson, and we got a little war. As Hextall comes out, he threw both clubs down, and boom, he runs into Chevrier, and he's pounding away Chevrier. And we have a war at the end of the game, and Chevrier is just getting murdered by Philadelphia's Hextall. The other goaltender, Billington, couldn't get in there as he was being held by Resch. But out of all of that, there's still a huge pile in the hash mark area along the right boards. But the major battle came out here when Hextall just took off after Alain Chevrier and buried him. So there's the calling card for the next engagement between these two.
Bill Guerin went right after Neil. I'm not sure what happened, what precipitated.
Look at the goaltenders, and here they go. Byron Dafoe gets the mask off Patrick Lalime and starts hammering. Lalime trying to get the mask off Dafoe. Dafoe lands a couple of rights. Oh, a big right hand by Dafoe. Dafoe's got Lalime down.
Just you really worry about an injury in a situation like that with Byron Dafoe and his knee. You got Hal Gill. But Byron. Oh my goodness.
That's the best goaltender fight I've seen in a long time. Byron Dafoe.
Tough guy, Byron Dafoe right there, skating through the end of the ice. Pulling out the very unfortunate Patrick Lalime. Little did he realize what Lalime that is, what he was getting into. For one thing, Byron's mask was apparently on much better than Lalime's was. And it's not bad fighting when you got a mask on. And Byron sort of just kept pounding and pounding. But he kept pounding after Lalime got his mask off as well. It was so bad that Sean McEachran had to come in and try to bail out Lalime.
Well, Byron is out.
Here comes Corey Schwab because Soderstrom's involved. Schwab moving into this. And he is there on Soderstrom. Corey Schwab and Tommy Soderstrom.
This is old-time hockey here. All the other players are paired up enjoying this fight.
Soderstrom's catching them all. Well, Tommy Soderstrom has no mask, and Schwab has his. Coffee sales are down. Everyone is standing, except for Martin and some of the Devils.
Straight punches to the face of the Islanders goaltender Tommy Soderstrom. And while that was going on, the crowd was cheering. When it was over, Soderstrom showed what had happened. Soderstrom needed about 5 stitches to close the wound on his face. As for Corey Schwab, he was ejected from the game along with Bill Guerin, and the crowd cheered when Schwab left the ice.
All right, baby.
I think he had a gash opened up. Did you see that?
I don't know what he had.
And when you were ejected, the crowd just roared your name. Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I heard him in the dressing room here, and it'd be nice if they roared when I win a hockey game for them, but as it turned out, we won anyways.
I was just talking to him over in his locker room. He said he came down because he saw you put your hands on one of his players, but he doesn't know why all the punching started.
I don't know either. I just had one hand free, and he came down had 2 hands free, and somebody told me that he dropped his glove in the mid-zone. I don't know, but that's hockey, and I get it back one day.
Soderstrom vowed to get even, but today, well, Bill Guerin tells the story the best. Do you believe how many shots he got in, Bill?
He got in about 7 good ones. That's probably the most one-sided fight that we'll see all year.
You think you won that one?
I'll leave that up to you.
Then the crowd booed you, and you put your hands up and said, come on, boo some more.
Yeah, that's because I don't give a shit. It's not my fans.
Soderstrom's face stained with blood well after the game was over. During the contest, they had to scrape the blood off the ice because...
And now Ray Emery's racing the length of the ice. Ray Emery is challenging Holtby. Holtby saying, no, I don't think I want to go. And the referee's going to try to keep them separated. And He won't be able to do that as away they go. Emery with the right hand's free, and he's hammering away on Holtby. Capitals not coming to his aid at this point, as Emery is just having his way with Holtby.
Well, this has been going on. There's been a lot of talk going back and forth, and Emery, remember when Emery first was a draft pick of the Ottawa Senators, he had come up. Everybody knew that one thing he could do on top of playing net was he could really throw them. Any questions here? Right here, you can tell.
He's had some boxing training, and Holtby just trying to protect himself in any way he can.
It was the fight when he was with Ottawa against the Buffalo Sabres. Was it Marty Biron that he ended up fighting in that game?
It was.
And the heavyweight.
Marsh battle free. Look out, the goalies are going to go at it. LaForest and Burke are going to square off.
I don't think Sean learned this with Dave King and the Olympic team.
Still trying to get at Marsh meantime at the penalty box. Terry Gregson has waited for Burke and LaForest to get tired out, but meantime back at the penalty box. That's Dafoe and Danico.
Bailey is absolutely livid. I mean, he crawled right over top of the two linesmen. He wanted that Marsh badly. Marsh gave him a number of good solid punches when he had him down on the ice.
Terry Gregson has meantime had to leave LaForest and Burke alone down by the empty net, but I think they're too tired to do too much damage to each other.
You know, they're probably saying to each other, isn't this absolutely ridiculous? What are we doing fighting each other? We're both goaltenders, starting goaltenders. Everyone else is up at the penalty box area. And here we dance with no linesmen to break it up.
They've got Melee off the ice and Marsh off the ice. Belichick's in the penalty box now, caught by Danico, and these two won't quit.
Uh-oh. I can never remember witnessing two goaltenders go at it like this.
I've seen them get together in the midst of a brawl and hold each other, but I've never seen anything like these two. And they might as well get their last licks in, because that'll be it for Sean and Mark.
Amazing.
How many pounds does all that stuff weigh, Myre?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. LaForest will have lost about 10 pounds after it. He probably shed about 10 to 15 pounds with it.
Goaltender interference. This time, look at the goaltenders might go at it. Here we go. Brent Johnson with DiPietro. I want to see it. Here we go. Oh, hit him with a left. He caught. Oh, you hit him. He hit him. He's not going to hit him again. But he's going to hold him down and not let him up.
Well, he hammered him good.
Johnson hit him like Stahl hit Pruss last night. It only took one left, and DiPietro was down. And I thought, you know what happened here? I think this is Johnson coming to Cook's rescue. I think Johnson thought that DiPietro took a shot at Matt Cook coming across the crease, Staggy. That's what I believe Johnson thought here. You know, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw DiPietro come out and engage himself. Let's take a look here. An icing call. DiPietro comes in front, and he takes a shot high on Matt Cook. No question about it. DiPietro gets a high shot on Matt Cook, who comes across the front. And look at DiPietro. What's DiPietro looking for? And then the left is going to come across here. Boom, right on the chin, and wow. And now here comes Marc-Andre Fleury. He's got to polish this off.
Avalanche holding the Red Wings in their own zone. Larionov and Forsberg away from the play. Peter Forsberg took a swipe at Igor Larionov. And it isn't often that we see Igor Larionov go, but he did. And now Darren McCarty gets his shots in at Claude Lemieux. And look who came all the way out to try to help. Patrick Roy. Oh my goodness. You never know when to expect it, Darren McCarty said before. Vernon and Roy. Mike Vernon with a great left. Follows up with the right. How about this? Lemieux was hammered by Darren McCarty, and he is being helped into the locker room. Two of the best of all time. Known for the use of the pillows. Vernon and Roy square off. They are on their feet here at Joe Louis Arena. 301 days since the hit on Chris Draper. And look at Darren McCarty. Patrick Roy bloodied up. Peter Forsberg bloodied up, and Lemieux in the locker room. Darren McCarty said hockey players have long memories, and the best time to seek, if you will, revenge, to seek redemption is maybe when your opponent least expects it. Say what you will of the situation. Say what you will about the hit. But this is what has happened here tonight. It starts with Forsberg and Igor Larionov. Forsberg with an extra hit to the head, and Igor objects. And he gets the headlock on Peter Forsberg. And then, away from that, Patrick Roy and Mike Vernon. Patrick Roy came out to aid Claude Lemieux. And look at the goalies go. And Patrick Roy has a heck of a size advantage. And Claude Lemieux, he was hammered by Darren McCarty. McCarty came in, and he went after Claude Lemieux. Took the helmet off and got a shot or two in. And that's when Roy came to Lemieux's rescue. And look at who stepped in on Patrick Roy. Brendan Shanahan. Welcome back to old-time hockey. Now here's how Darren got loose. And he got the shot in at Claude Lemieux. And from there, pandemonium. Look at the goalies battle. You got to be tough and a little crazy to stop pucks traveling over 100 miles an hour. And they are tough in more ways than one. Mike Vernon and Patrick Roy. Patrick Roy with a smile on his face. Peter Forsberg, the same cannot be said. As Larionov was the one who tangled with Forsberg.
They have a hold of each other. That's a mismatch in size. What's Patrick doing?
Oh, boy. Now Osgood's got a decision. No, Osgood's coming. Oh, boy.
Shades of what happened last year. You're kidding me.
Look at Patrick Waugh. He wants to get loose. He wants to go after Osgood, I think, and get involved in this.
It was March 26th. Osgood's not going over. Yeah, he is. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's jumping. I don't believe this. Oh, left paw. Holy jumping. Right paw. It's so hard with those arm pads to get him loose.
Oh.
Patrick's got a couple there. Oh, Patrick's got a couple of big-time rights.
Well, this is big for Patrick Waugh because he was beaten in the fight by Vernon last year, but this is big for Chris Osgood,
yes,
too.
Yes, yeah. Hey, Patrick's no quitter. Patrick's going to do something. Big takedown by Osgood late. Oh, a lot of times, last year, this is what jump-started the Detroit Red Wings. It was their only win of the season against Colorado. We thought going into this one, maybe this could jump-start the Colorado Avalanche after they've been a little stagnant. Look at the guys. Hey, Scotty and John Wharton, the trainer. You want to know what's going on over there.
Listen to the crowd chanting, Ozzy, Ozzy.
So, I'm sure there's observers out there watching saying, what is this stuff? What is going on? Tell you from being in scrums like this is a time when absolutely a team comes together. This is a big time. Oh, he's great. Patrick Waugh puts up the hand. This guy's going to go to the Hall of Fame, and he brings a lot to the table, boy. Not only stopping pucks, but for Ozzy, the same thing. It's a big moment here. The fight that Patrick Waugh got in with Mike Vernon, there's a wrist strap on your glove side, and sometimes you can't get it up. He couldn't get his wrist strap up. Now, takes off the blocker, now he's undoing the wrist strap. That's what he's doing. The last fight caught him by surprise. Oh, look at that, that's unbelievable. All right, now he's gonna go jump in. He's gonna grab onto the right side, get somebody off, but he pleaded with Gregson here. I mean, he pleaded with him. Now, you see, Osgood's got to get the glove off himself. And Osgood, give him credit, took off the mask as well. Two goalies, two masks off, no visors, no stuff, just a couple of goalies going toe-to-toe in a good bout. A good bout. At the end, Patrick gets a couple of rights in there. Whoa, yeah, does he ever? Oh, boy. But then, Osgood's really worked on his upper body strength. He's gotten a lot stronger. And he gets him off balance at the very end. This is tiring stuff. Tiring. Oh, man.
Plays it into the Toronto zone. And then Lacroix takes it from Larry Murphy. And then Potvin slashes Lacroix. And all the leads are after Lacroix. The Flyers have to chase down the ice. And Ron Hextall is going to be right in there. Hextall going after Potvin. Hextall takes Potvin into the corner. And away we go. Potvin, Matt, both back. They're off and away they go. Oh, they're trading rights. The goalie's going at it. Trading rights. Oh, I think Hextall caught him with one. The goaltenders going at it. Potvin hanging in there against Hextall. But Hextall hits the right hand free. And Ron Hextall rocked him, socked him goaltenders there. Hextall just keeps swinging with the right hand. Potvin gets the left free. With all that equipment out, they have to be exhausted.
What an end to a game.
Yes, folks, the game is over. The Flyers have won, by the way, 3-1. And Hextall and Potvin are not saying, I'm out of gas, how about you?
That has to be the best fight of the year, right there. The two goaltenders. This is old-time hockey.
Now we wait. The two goaltenders are just being leaned on by the linesman right here. Kornick is going off to the Flyer locker room. And they're separated, and the crowd lets Ron Hextall hear it. Not only was he a key part of the win here tonight, he gets his first penalty minutes of the season in grand fashion. Here's the end. Lacroix, there was the slash by Potvin. You just saw it. Clark right after Lacroix. In the meantime, Hextall is heading all the way down the ice right here.
I wish we would have had the stop clock on Hextall, how long it took for him to reach from his net to the opposing net.
There he is, not very long at all. And it wasn't like he was going to say, you want to go. It was, we're going. And Potvin, Hextall had the mask down. You can see Hextall trying to get the mask off, and he was very successful.
There we go.
Potvin, and then it was Rock'em Sock'em. I tell you what, you give Potvin credit. He was hanging in there throwing him, but Hextall never stops. The right hand just continues.
That's a good one.
That one caught him right there. You saw the one that caught Potvin. He went down. He was hurt by it. Terry Murray got it.
Hey, not only did Felix see the most shots last year, he had the most hits. I'll tell you one thing, he doesn't pick his spots. Here he goes at it with Owen Nolan. And now we have Hextall and Potvin. Look at Clark go after Lacroix, gives him a couple of shots, and here comes Hextall. He's coming down after Potvin. Watch, there's Kirk there, he grabs Holler. Now watch in the background, look at the fans in the background going nuts. Yeah, they say they don't like fights in the National Hockey League. Watch the little kid, look at the little Toronto Maple Leaf guy here. Roddy, get your head up, get your head up. That's why you're getting your clock cleaned. Look at Potvin go, this guy can throw him, I'll tell you, boy. It's amazing how they can throw him with all that equipment. Now here it's payback time in Detroit. Waz coming from the other end, and Shanahan hits him there. There they go. Boy, I'll tell you, this was a Beard Sixter. You know what this was from? This was when Lemieux give it to Draper, broke his side. Now look at these two guys go, boy. You got to admire Walk for coming down, Vernon for coming out. They could have set in their nets and, take it easy. Boy, I'll tell you, two warriors there. I love them both.